I'm Sean.
And I'm Chris.
Welcome to episode 4 of the South Coast Social. All right, welcome back to
episode
the
4.
Marching In.
We're here again.
Do you want to grab a beer?
Yeah, which ones are you up for?
I'm up for the same as what we had
I think
last week.
That was quite a decent beer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I think we'll have to get some more then.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored at all, but if they do want to sponsor us, you know.
Yeah, they've got an address on the back. I'll drop them an email.
Yeah.
If you own a beer, this would be a good place to see. We've got, 5,000 views per episode so far?
Yeah.
5,000 viewers drinking your beer. So,
plus all the TikTok shorts, you know.
Yeah, so get in touch.
Yes.
So today's episode, we've got a couple of games to review.
Yep.
And then we've got a couple of games to preview.
Yeah.
None involving you. So this might be a little bit... We've got some questions which are Pompey related.
Yep.
So if you've sent in your questions, hang on to we'll do those. We've got a couple of stats of the week as well from this season. And then something that you've got a couple of things that we can agree on now.
I've come to the table with a couple of things we can agree on. I think most of the population can agree on as well. So yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We'll do that.
Good. All right, where should we start?
Well, let's start. We're going to start with Preston.
Yeah, we can start with the Preston game. Yeah. It was. It wasn't a pointless game in the sense that it wasn't a complete and utter dead rubber. A couple of changes to the lineup, which I predicted. So I'm assuming Tonder Eckhart
must be
listens in. Yeah. So I said that I don't think he should change too much, but he should probably rest Bree, probably rest Azaz, and that's exactly what he did. He put Shea Charles at right back, and he rested Azaz, who's had a couple of niggly injuries by the sounds of it, but it's still taken it relatively seriously by the looks of it. He's sort of come out afterwards. It's easy to say after the game and say it didn't matter whether we finish 4th or 5th. We're confident going into the playoffs, but it does matter.
It does.
Absolutely matters.
You've got to have momentum, haven't you? Regardless of who you are.
Yeah, and to be fair to Preston, it was quite an open game, and they did sort of make a fist of it. Like we went 1-0 up in the first half. Taylor Harwood-Bellis with a great header, which I've just shown you.
Yeah. I mean, if it wasn't Southampton, it would be a great header. It was a good header. It was a good goal. It was a good, well worked, very good header, wasn't it?
Yeah, and up to that point, we were peppering them. We were putting a lot of crosses into the box, and then we went 1-0 up, and we seemed to just take the foot off the gas a little bit. I think they just thought, don't overexert yourself, maybe. But Preston started coming at us, and like I said, it was really open. They had a similar situation. I think it was from a corner though. Their centre back, Lindsay, I think his name might be, who's just a thug. He had a free header that he put wide, which goalkeeper was stranded. If that was on target, it was in. Peretz then made a double save. So we sort of rode our luck a little bit, but never really got out of second gear and made it to half time, 1-0 up, which I think was fair on the reflection of the game. We weren't miles ahead of them, but I think 1-0 was good enough. And then came out within 5 minutes, we were 2-0 up, and you definitely got the impression then that they sat back. They just sort of didn't want to overdo it. But by doing so, Preston got back in the game with a rare Daniel Peretz mistake, which he's had a couple of little dodgy moments, but he's always got away with it. He didn't get away with this one.
You showed me the goal. It definitely looked like he was stuck in two minds what to do, didn't he?
I think it was the opposite. I think he was just too keen.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a long ball from the keeper after our corner, like quick release ball, sent their player down their left, our right, and he obviously thought he could intercept it. It's taken a big bounce. He's realised he's getting done by the bounce, tries to turn back, slips, and then
made a mess of it basically.
Yeah, he made a mess of it. He's got a lot of credit in the bank. So I think if Bazunu had made that mistake, there would have been riots. But
I don't think
the point is he made that double save in the first half. We'd have probably already been drawing the game at worst. So yeah, I've got no problems. He held his hands up, and that was that. We then made a few changes. So Stewart had already scored, and then we swapped in Larin, which we do every game. We interchange between them, and as has happened so often, they both scored. 92nd minute, he goes. He had an opportunity to have a strike from about 20 yards just before it. The ball set up beautifully for him, and he took a touch, and it just sort of had to be recycled, and it went down the right, and then he's had a tap in from 3 yards, and he nearly blasted it over. And he had one the other day, I think it was against Bristol City, where he had a tap in from a yard and he hit the post and it went in. So he's quite good at, let's just say he's doing it on purpose. He's fighting in the corners and the roof of the net. He's that good a striker, he can do that from 2 yards. So it does worry me, because I just hope it doesn't happen in a big game where he's 2 yards out and he balloons it over or something like that.
Against
But
Boro.
he's got a hell of a goal scoring record for us at the moment. I mean, I was pretty sceptical when he came in.
Where did he come from?
He's on loan from Mallorca.
okay.
I think he'd just spent another loan period where there was all these highlight reels that you get like on YouTube.
Yeah.
Usually they make players look amazing.
Yeah.
They made him look shocking.
Oh, really?
But I don't think he played. I think it's for Feyenoord. Is that who Robin van Persie manages? Is it Feyenoord?
Yeah, so
I think it was there. He was on loan there. He didn't play very often, but I remember when he first came on for us, he scored with his first touch, luckily, which gave him a lot of, again, credit in the bank. Because after that, he did score a penalty as well, but he did look off the pace, and I think he's rusty. He's 31, and he'd never been obviously playing in this league. It's a decent level for him, and I think he just needed that run of games. Now he's got that run of games. He's got this knack of just being in the right place at the right time. That's the experience, because
you reckon you'll buy him?
Apparently there's an obligation if we go up. So if we,
Really?
I think we'll buy him either way, because I don't see him getting a better move.
Do you reckon he'll be a Prem striker?
Could be our Chris Wood. Could be our...
Where's Chris Wood gone, though?
I have no idea. I don't know.
But you normally...
Did he go to Newcastle?
I don't know. He came from Newcastle, didn't he?
Might have been, yeah. But I could see him being like...
He could do a job.
Everything to me says, no, he's too slow, he's not going to be good enough for the Premier League. But he's got something about him where you go, he's going to cause issues. So maybe he could be our Chris Wood. I mean, he could absolutely flop, but I've got no... I think it's only a few million. It's not like going to break the bank for a Premier League club if you go up.
If he can do you a job and gets you 10 goals...
I mean, Premier League strikers don't get 10 goals anymore, do they?
No,
do you remember they used to get like 30 goals, didn't they? Now they're like 10 to 15.
Yeah. Well, mate, if he can get you... you're not going up. So, I'll let you get away with it for a little while. But look, he could do you a job. 31 isn't exactly old, is it? So
it's not. No, it's the wrong side of 30, and you tend to be on the way down. But there's plenty of strikers that have played well into their 30s and sort of got better and better. So he might be the one. It's the same with Peretz. Apparently, it's an obligation if we go up that we're going to buy him.
Big money or
about 7 million, I think.
Okay.
I mean, I'll pay double it. Even in the Championship, he's an insanely good keeper despite his mistake the other day. So 3-1, and in the end, it looked quite comfortable. But I think it was a good game it was a good game for us because it was nobody got injured, nobody got suspended.
I was going to say,
we managed to rest a couple of key players. We've won comfortably, but it's been a bit of a challenge, so they're not going to be rusty going into the playoffs. And it's ended that run as well because we'd drawn 2 at home. We obviously lost to Man City. So for a relative period, we hadn't won for a while. So I think that's blown that out of the water. It means that we had to have somebody slip up. Remember last week you said all 3 are going to win. I said, no, one of them will slip up.
Yeah.
It was Boro.
Yeah.
So we managed to finish above them, and it means that we've got the second leg at home, which we can come on to a bit later. But I think that's massive, and I've got some stats on that to back it up as well, to be honest, because I think it's a really big thing. The players, I kind of fancy them. I'm not overly, I'm not arrogantly confident because anything can happen in the playoffs, but I would fancy them either way round anyway. Yeah. If I could, I look at the teams that are in the playoffs. I'm now happy Ipswich went up because I wouldn't really fancy playing them over 2 legs or a final.
We'll talk about it later, won't we? But I think Millwall was still dangerous. I think we'll go into it later. But Middlesbrough, I reckon you've definitely got the right team first. Go back 7-8 games ago, they were looking good, weren't they? Before the Pompey game, before they were on that run, they're not looking. They've got over the line, haven't they?
Yeah. Well, looking at their fans, they're not going into it with a great deal of confidence. They look. There's an element of disappointment that they missed out on automatic promotion. So hopefully you can capitalise on that. But I don't know. I think Sunderland do something similar, didn't they? They sort of stumbled into the playoffs in the end, and then I think they went on the back of 3 defeats or something, and then they won the playoffs. So it can happen either way. Yeah. But I think you've done all you can do. The good thing is, it's kind of, if you're going to get into the playoffs, we've done it probably the best way that you can. You're not overexerting yourself by getting in or scraping in at the bottom and having the away leg second. Yeah. We're had the disappointment of bottling second at any point.
No.
So you've done all you can do. It's now a case of a 3-game cup competition, essentially. So, hopefully it goes our way. But I know you don't feel the same.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll come on to the
let's do that later on. Let's talk about that later on.
We've got your game as well, Birmingham.
Yeah, typical end of season game.
Yeah.
Dead rubber. No, nothing to play for. Pompey made a lot of changes. There was injuries. There was a few injuries actually. So Murphy wasn't in the squad. Bishop was injured. So we made a few changes. Birmingham came with a full strength team. So even though it was the last game, nothing to play for, Birmingham came for something.
Yeah.
And their manager's come out afterwards, who I think sounds a bit of a knob. I can't remember his name, but the Birmingham fans don't seem to like him. He just sounds a knob. He's come out and for some reason he thinks it's a nothing game. And he's come out afterwards and said he wanted to spoil the Pompey. I don't really know what he wanted to spoil because Pompey had nothing to play for. And he wanted to come out and said, they were on a great run at the moment and he wanted to ruin their last... I don't know. Why? I mean, it's last
Chris
game.
Davis.
Was it? I don't think the Birmingham fans are overly keen on him. At the game itself, we started really well. For a dead rubber, I mean, the year we got promoted a couple of seasons ago, we had already been crowned champions and all that. And I went to that game and it was just literally like a party. There was balloons everywhere, there was balls everywhere, and it had a feel about that. There was beach balls going, there was
celebrating staying up.
Yeah, it was all pretty light-hearted. But Pompey came out really well. We obviously scored. Segatic again, and
how many goals has he got now?
11 goals. Was it 11?
Five of those must be, or half of it.
He scored 5 in the last 3, and he's got five assists, I think, and 11 goals or 12 goals or something like that. I mean, he's a man on form. It's come at the wrong time, but he's a man on form, which for Pompey it could be bad because there's a lot of interest in him. But that, I don't know what other Pompey fans think, but that was probably one of the best work goals I've seen Pompey score. And we've scored some good goals this season, don't get me wrong. Devlin's got a couple of them, and we've done well with some good goals. But this goal,
is a team goal.
As a team goal, starting off with Matthews at the back, he's ploughed over halfway. He's put it between 2 Birmingham players and it's cut straight into Williams running down the wing, and it just split him apart, Birmingham, and he's cut it back ever so slightly to Segatic, and he's had time in the box. He's brought it in, he's dummied the keeper's gone to the keeper's right and he's pulled it to the left, and it was a really good goal. And you know what, Pompey deserved it, and we should have had a second probably less than 5 minutes later, and it just didn't fall right, and we should have been 2 up. Subsequently, we didn't go 2 up. They've pulled back. Typical Pompey style, poor defending from the corner. We didn't start with our 2 strongest
Set piece again,
yeah. Another set piece. And we just looked a bit... You could tell the 2 at the back, the centre-backs, were a little bit ropey. Matthews hasn't played much at all season. Barrett, when he's come on, has been part right back, part left back, part centre-back. He's coming on towards the end of the game. So he's not had a lot of first-team action this season. They done well, but you could tell it was just poor marking. So they've scored. And then from then, it was a typical... There was chances. They had chances. We had chances. Chaplin had a really good volley. I don't know. I mean, all the Saints fans probably haven't seen it, but the Pompey fans, Segatic pounced on a loose throwback. I
have seen this.
I mean, there's a lot of... It'd be interesting to see what people think. There was a lot of people say, well, Birmingham fans, you can't do that, blah, blah, blah. I get... In the spirit of the game, we've thrown the ball back, I think wrongly so, because they played on. So the matey's gone down. Birmingham's played on for a good 30, 45 seconds, and they've lost the ball. We've got the ball back. They've gained the ball back again, and then they've kicked it out.
Right.
It wasn't in a few seconds, and it riled up the Pompey fans, and I feel that we should never have given the ball back in the first place, because they didn't care when they had the ball and they were going for the goal, right? So, anyway.
My view on it is, if you're gentlemanly enough to give the ball back, you stay gentlemanly enough to not just take it back.
But there's giving the ball back, and it's not like we get...
Nobody touched it, though, at that point.
But it rolled past one defender, and he's just looking around, going, ushering his arm out, and the bloke next to him's looking at it, looking at the defender, and he's ushering out. Goalkeeper's just staring at both of them.
I think they're both waiting for the keeper in some way, aren't they?
And I think they're both... I think the keeper was waiting for the keeper, the defender was waiting for the keeper, and the thing was, the ball was nearly coming to a stop.
Yeah.
What we got to do? Sit there for 10 minutes until one of them decides which one's going for the ball?
No. But
I mean, if that had gone in,
Segic pretty quickly went, I'm having this.
yeah, damn right he should have done. I mean,
I think if you're going to throw it back, give it back. Don't go throw it back and then we're going to take it straight
it'd be
away.
interesting to see what gets this, because this will be a good one. But if that had gone in, I mean, it nearly went in.
It would have been a good finish. To be fair,
absolutely cracker's finish. But so subsequently, then the keeper and four of their players and plus the keeper have then ran to Segitic. I mean, Segitic is, I've seen. Well, he's tiny, and they've gone
so tiny. He gets ID'd when he goes out of town.
Yeah, gets ID'd out in Gunwolf, Pompey's top scorer, and he didn't even get let in, did he? So
is it botanist or
something like Lickfrist?
Lickfrist,
yeah. Yeah. So look, and it had that feel. Birmingham went down.
One thing I'll agree with you before you move on: he should have been booked.
He should have been booked.
You see it back
there's no rule. You have to give the ball back.
So I'm assuming he didn't get booked for that. It was because of the melee afterwards, which he did nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm showing you the video. He's literally been pounced on. There's been loads of shoving. He's literally
walked away
and walked off.
He's walked away.
And it was the Pompey players and the bench that have got involved and went down.
None of them got booked as far as
I managed to get on the pitch. I think went for one of them because I see some geeks go off. So yeah, that's another good thing for that. But
points deduction. Hang on, you should get deducted.
We're still not going to. We're not going to get 7. Come on,
7 points. Yeah, you got worse goal difference. 7 points you should be deducted for all these pitch invasions.
Yeah, well, but look, it was a dead rubber game. But Birmingham, for a full strength team, I know they had nothing to play for. They went down very easy. They had a lot of fouls given for them, and a little side note of their fans. I know I've read a lot that the Pompey fans have been giving it like any fan does. They've been giving it one of the quietest and one of the least supported teams have had theirs down here at Fratton Park. They sold out. I think they had 2,100 fans.
Birmingham,
yeah. A 12:30 kickoff. And don't get me wrong, they weren't loud all game, but when they were loud, they were loud. And they I tell you what, and I'm going to say it, when you lot came down, you were good and you were loud, but I think Birmingham done you.
I don't care about that.
I think Birmingham, their supporters this season.
I'm not even gonna.
You're not gonna ring the bell.
No, I'm not gonna ring the bell. I think that's absolutely fine. You said when we came down, we were loud.
You were loud.
That was on video.
It was on video. But Birmingham were louder. Birmingham were a lot louder. But look, it was a dead rubber game. We finished off with no real injuries. They've done their lap of honour. Mousinho at the end of the game has gone over and fist pumped the Fratton end. Did it look like he was leaving?
I was going to ask this. No.
Anything can happen.
This is after the chat that they've had.
This is after the chat. Now, he's come out and had done the interview afterwards, and he's been very coy, which you would, because you wouldn't want to let anything slip.
Yeah.
And it was very what they thought, what we thought, what the fans think. And look, we won't know. We'll only know in the summer with how that chat's gone, whether we sell.
I'm surprised it's not been leaked in any way.
Yeah, well, they're doing a very good job at not leaking it. There's obviously a lot of chatter about Mousinho. That Richard Hughes apparently is wanted by Sheffield Wednesday now. They've been brought out.
Yeah.
So I think most Pompey fans will agree that we will put him in a car and drive him there.
I was going to say you'd be happy with that.
I think most Pompey fans.
From what you said about him last time.
Yeah, I mean the owners are the owners. They're the ones who front the money.
Yeah.
He then goes out and he's the one who's selecting players with his head of recruitment and all that. They're the ones who are selecting the players, and they're the ones who are going to the owners and saying we need X amount of pounds. We want to buy this player.
Yeah.
And a lot of the players they have brought are subpar. They're not good. So if he goes good, but Mousinho's reaction afterwards and the way he was talking and the way he was fist pumping, it wasn't a Frank Lampard, we've just won like full on in. Well, it wasn't like it, but it wasn't like this is my last game. Like when Devlin went off injured, he was. You could tell he was upset that he was injured, but it had that. I personally had that feel.
I know what you mean.
And you're thinking he thinks that there could something happen.
Yeah.
So for Mousinho, he went over. He's not sounding like a man that wants to leave. He's not sounding like a man that is going to leave. But look, let's give it 3 or 4 months and wait till August.
Well, we've got a question later on in departures from Pompey. We'll come on to that in a minute. But you ended up finish 18th. Must be happy with that.
Yeah, I mean,
what's that? 1 defeat in 6 or 7 as you ended the season.
1 defeat in 7. Yeah,
you were in the relegation zone whilst you were at QPR, and then you've ended up.
Well, no, we were out somehow. We managed at QPR. We've managed to stay at the relegation zone.
Oh no, it was Middlesbrough.
Yeah. We were in, and we scored that last-minute winner.
And it's all sort of flipped.
I mean, a Pompey fan will say, "Look, with the team that we've had this year, that is good." You look at it both sides.
Yeah.
Is it progress? I don't think so. We've finished 2 places lower than we did last season.
Okay.
But we finished with a point more than we had last season.
Interesting.
So it's progress as in we've got more points than we did last season, but it's obviously, it just shows that the field, minus Wednesday and Leicester, they've had point deduction, but even with Leicester having their point deduction, we still would have finished above them. Now, you've got to look at it. You can flip the coin and say it's good. We've stayed up. We've got more points than we did last year, albeit by 1 point. But we're two places lower than where we were last year.
Talking of Leicester, just a bit off topic. How good is it? I thought they got away with murder a little bit when they only got deducted 6 points, but those 6 points sent them down.
Yeah, and I was going to bring this up as a fact.
Finally, like a punishment has resulted in actual punishment.
If it wasn't for Leicester getting those points deduction, Blackburn would have gone on goal difference.
That's West Brom.
Well, no, if you think West Brom had a points deduction as well.
Oh, of course they did. Yeah. So if the points deductions didn't happen,
Blackburn would have gone on goal difference.
Yeah,
and so Blackburn are bloody lucky. And you got to remember, we briefly talked about it a few episodes ago when their manager, who's also the Northern Irish manager, was apparently there was a lot of chatter about him picking certain players, playing full games when they were resting his own players.
Yeah,
they're lucky.
Yeah,
but yeah, you're right. It is refreshing to see that a points deduction because of wrongdoing has finally resulted in.
Because when it happened, I thought they've got away with it. 6 points means nothing. That's not.
I think most of the league, including Leicester, probably thought they got away with it because they thought the squad they've got. They should have been able to get out of it.
Yeah.
What's 6 points? So that was 2 wins.
Well, I think what will show is how many of their players, well, it depends. They're on pretty good contracts, I'd imagine, might not want to leave. But how many of their players will be wanted by clubs in the Championship? There'll be a fair few that end up in the Championship and do well.
Yeah.
So it's something wrong with the club there. But that's a bit off topic. But I just thought it was nice that their team went down. So, yeah, you finished 18th, pretty comfortable in the end. But for the vast majority of the season, what we'll do after this, once the playoffs are finished, we'll do a season review, but we'll do it a little bit differently. We won't just talk about all the games. We'll talk about the derbies. We'll talk about expectations versus reality. And then I think we could do things like player of the season, goal of the season. I was thinking we could do like a mixed team of the season or something like that. I don't know, just some way to sort of combine it. And just try and create a little bit of debate around all that. But we'll wait to see. That could be just after the semi-final, or it could be just after the final. We'll find out. But we'll do a season review at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
Moving on. So we've not got a great deal to preview, but we do have the minor thing of the playoffs. So like I said, I'm glad we're not playing Ipswich. I don't think there's many teams I would have really. There's no one in there where I'm like, I hope we play them. I was kind of hoping we get Wrexham, purely on the basis we beat them so comfortably previously, and I think their squad is not as strong as the others.
You got Hull and think, I wish we'd had Hull.
Well, no, because with Wrexham as well, is the worry with them was the whole fairy tale, and maybe something might happen with it, fairy tale in quotation marks. But I was kind of happy to avoid Hull and Millwall, because they're more physical sides. So kicking you for 2 games, I feel that could take its toll. I remember I think it's 2006, we got to the playoffs, we played Derby over 2 legs, and they just booted us in the air, and that ultimately won them the game or the tie. So I wasn't really up for that. It's not to say that I think Boro would be easier, but I think playing against the footballing side, they beat us 4-0 at the Riverside. Yeah. I mean, it was when we were on our dire run,
which was most of the season, wasn't it? Up until February.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It was definitely. Yeah. You were. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did they do it? Your place then?
Drew 1-1.
Okay.
And I think they were second around then as well. But yeah, they beat us 4-0. We really did not turn up to that game. I think we had, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 more games. There was the whole game after that, which was pretty bad. And then it turned just before we had the away
into the playoffs. Then you've got Borough that you've drawn and lost, and Millwall drawn.
We haven't beaten any of the playoff teams.
Not even Hull.
We lost twice to Hull.
Ooh.
We drew and lost to Borough and drew and lost to Millwall.
You've had it then. Yeah, there's no way. I mean, don't get me wrong.
In context, these runs, it was either under Will Still or when Tonda was going through his weird back 5 thing and just wasn't changing it. So it's not, none of those results have been during this run that has got us into the playoffs. All of those, we were bottom half of the league at the time, probably.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, it's a different Southampton team. It's a different, we've got a couple of different players, but we set up very differently. I look at Borough, I think they're going to have a disappointment of not making. I mean, you look at that game. I heard a stat on a different podcast that Borough, when they beat us 4-0, were 18 points in front of us at the time. We've ended up finishing above them.
Yeah.
So that's how much that I think they've won 2 in 10 or something like that.
And I think they've spent the most time other than Coventry in the top 2.
Probably. So they're going to be really disappointed. It doesn't mean that we'll definitely beat them, but hopefully it plays a part. They're potentially going to be missing their best player in Hackney. He's not played for a few games. Yeah, he's there's noise of him the manager's being a bit coy, but he's saying he's on the verge of coming back. So
Okay.
whether he can play both games, 'cause it's going to be Saturday, Tuesday. So
Saturday's at theirs, isn't it?
yeah, if he's going to be fit, they're probably going to play him for the second leg to
Yeah,
make sure
of
he's
course.
properly fit.
Yeah.
But you never know. But yeah, hopefully he's not playing. We've got a couple of players coming back. So Downs has been suspended, so he's coming back in fresh. I don't know about Stevens from our side. Wood had a decent game.
Did he?
Mentioned him every podcast so far. He's been on, off, on, off. So yeah, he had a decent game the other day. So not overly bothered if Jack Stevens isn't quite fit enough, but I'd rather he be there.
You can always put Aribo or whatever his name is, Aribo. He's come back off his loan now with Leicester, and you can put him
again, the same podcast I was talking about. We're talking about whether loan players for teams that have finished their season can come back. Aribo was free agent after his loan anyway.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, his contract ran out. But we had like Ben Berrett and Diaz at Derby who could have come back.
Is he a player then, is he?
Yeah, and Will Smallbone at Millwall as well. So yeah, there's a couple of players, but no, they're not allowed back. I think their loan deals go up to one. You've got to register players, and two, I think their loan deals go up to the 1st of June.
Okay,
something like that. So I'm not bothered about it. I don't, to be honest. So I'm quite happy for them for the team that we've got. I think they're more than capable. Going into the first leg, I really don't know what to expect. So I mean, it's going to be a lot harder for us. We're not going to do a podcast between the two legs. No. So it's going to be harder for us to predict what's going to happen in the second leg because it depends on what happens in the first leg. My hope is that we win, obviously. But I think first legs in playoffs tend to be quite cagey. I think we should just take the game to them. I think they're going to have a nervous stadium who, if you take the game to them the first 10, 15 minutes, it'll quieten them down and they'll get a bit worried. And maybe we could nick a couple of goals. Last time in the playoffs when we played West Brom away, we drew 0-0 and we played for that 0-0. It was all about getting back to our place and doing the job, which we did. I think with this, it's a little bit different. I think we should probably look to win both games personally, but you know, it's all about the aggregate score at the end of the day. Good news is second leg's at home. If it goes to extra time, it's an extra amount of time at home. Obviously penalties as well. So yeah, I'm going for a cagey 1-0 win in the first leg.
To you?
Yep. And then second leg 3-1. So 4-1 aggregate. 4-1. For the predictions, actually, should we do a prediction for both games or just an aggregate prediction? I think over both.
Yeah, over both, yeah.
Because to update you on this,
there you go.
So
I mean, you got
this time last week you were winning.
Yeah, I was.
I then got a result which was the 1-1 Pompey Birmingham 1-0. You got the correct score for Saints v Preston. You had the correct result. I had the correct result of 2-1, but I was 30 seconds away from having the correct score as well. So we're actually neck and neck on 6 points each. So I should be 8-6 up. So we'll go for both games.
Yeah.
What did I just say? 1-0,
3-1, wasn't it?
1-0 and 3-1. Yeah.
That's optimistic, isn't it?
It is optimistic.
That's yeah. I mean, I think out of them all, Middlesbrough. Again, it depends. They've got something to play for. It's not like Preston. I don't know. I think it's going to be. I don't know.
I look at the teams we had nothing to play for. We played, obviously Preston the other day. We played Swansea and we played Bristol City. We beat Swansea in the last minute. We got past Preston relatively simple, but they did cause us problems. We drew with Bristol City.
Yeah.
Swansea
was lucky. Last minute goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we deserved it.
Okay. Well, going there. Let's have a think. I'm going. So I can't give you another 1-0. And I don't think it will be 1-0 to you in the first leg. I'm going to go 2-1 Middlesbrough.
First leg.
2-1 Middlesbrough. And then
You're trying to work out what the aggregate means that we lose, aren't you?
No. And I reckon it could be a 1-0 Saints in the second leg, which then puts it to extra time.
Are you going to put anything on the line for extra time? I won't put this won't be as part of it.
I think if it goes to extra time, I'm going for it's going to go to penalties. I'm not going to say it. I obviously it can go either way. I'd hope that Middlesbrough will do it. I
have no insight into their penalty taking.
No, I wouldn't have a clue.
And I don't know who would take our penalties. We've had so few of them this season. Adam Armstrong used to take them. He's not with us anymore. No. Larin had one in the FA Cup. Other than that, I don't know who takes them.
I reckon I've just got a feeling. I reckon it's going to be.
I've got Perez in goal.
Yeah, but he's like some of your or a lot of your fans when he first turned up he's quite small, isn't he?
He's not that small. He's all right.
There's taller goalkeepers, isn't there?
Bigger than you.
Well, yeah, that's surprising. So I'm going for.
So you're going Boro penalties.
I'm going aggregate 2-2. I'm going extra time. I reckon it'll be nervy, and I reckon it'll go to penalties. And I reckon it'll go the full 5 penalties each.
Going really deep into this.
I reckon it'll be 6-5. Yeah, 6-5. I reckon I've got to go Boro and win. And if not, you're going to get battered by Millwall. So as long as Hull don't step up and but yeah, I'm going. I reckon it's good. I don't think it's going to be open. I reckon you'll be cagey.
Fine. Okay. We'll review that
in a couple of weeks
after the playoff semi-final and see how that's gone. Moving on to our sponsor for this podcast. It's still Buy Play Trade in Bitton, who have come back for a 4th in a row. So skadoodle down to Buy Play Trade in Bitton, get your poker book.
Yeah, you definitely got to skedaddle down to there. Yeah.
Oh, private joke. Anyway, yeah, brilliant sponsor. And if you want to sponsor the podcast, especially if you're a beer, get in touch at the southcoastsocialpod at gmail.com.
Beer in return for sponsorship is not a bad little.
Yeah, you don't even have to pay. Just give us some.
It's on there.
Some going out of date stock.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, it'll get drunk quick enough, won't it?
Yeah, exactly. We'll take it. Right, moving on. We've had a couple of questions. We've had a few questions actually.
We have had
3 questions. I'm going to save one of them for another time.
Yeah, I think we need to leave one. Is that the follow-up question?
No, we'll do the follow-up question today. So, first question of the day. I'm going to go back to Portsmouth because we've just talked about the glorious Southampton for the last 10 minutes. So we had a question from Matt. He hasn't said where he's from, but he's definitely
a Pompey fan.
He's of a PO persuasion.
Good.
It says, for Chris, everyone's worried that our owners might not invest, but I don't think people are considering that they might look to cash in. Are you worried that they might end up selling the likes of Murphy, Devlin, Seggs and Adams and then end up not replacing them with as good a players? We've finally got assets that we could sell. Will they take that opportunity?
Short of it, they will. They'll definitely cash in this summer. I think that they're not going to not cash in. I'm not saying they're going to cash in on all of them.
Who are they going to cash in on?
Devlin will be the most obvious.
Yeah.
Stegatic, off the top of my head, I can't remember how much we paid for him. It wasn't much.
Australia, so it wouldn't be a lot.
I think it was a compensation for the age of him. There's a chance. Stegatic has done well this season.
The problem is he's done well at times when it doesn't really matter. So he's scored a lot of goals in dead rubbers, which has probably brought the attention to him needlessly.
And the goals he scored are good. Yeah. And for a player that's come from the A-League to come over here and do what he's top scorer.
I think he looks a good finisher.
Yeah,
for his age.
I think that he will gain interest. I think we'll be able to keep hold of him. I don't think we'll sell him.
How much would you take for him?
There's been some wild figures. So I've heard there's championship clubs involved, or the rumours are championship clubs and European clubs.
Yeah.
Not saying big European clubs, not saying big championship clubs. They're obviously going to be teams with aspirations to do well in their respective leagues. How much would it take? He's a young international. Now, it's going to be interesting because apparently he skipped allegiances from Australia to Croatia. So he's gone to Croatia now.
Are they in the World Cup?
Yeah, they are. And he played for their under-21s, and there was that people believed that he wouldn't be ready for the senior team. Now, apparently, the senior team are looking at him now, and he could be a surprise call-up. So if that happens, it just pumps his money up. We sold Callum Lang. Okay. Callum Lang went for £2.5 million, and I think I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know how many games he's played. He hasn't played many, and he's been injured for most of the season again with a hamstring injury. So if we've got £2.5 million for him at Callum Lang's age, you've got to double it to $5 million for Stegatic, $4.5 million, I reckon, and they could be tempted.
Devlin?
Devlin is a full international. He played against Italy in the Northern Ireland, playoff match. He's out of the whole Pompey team. I think most Pompey fans will say this. I think he's the only one that could play in the Premiership in the future. Yeah. I'm not saying right now. He has definitely got the attributes to being a proper Premiership player.
Premier League. Get a bell for that as well.
He's got to be. Championship players are big money now.
Yeah.
I'd like 20-25% sell on clause.
We're going to say 25 million then.
No. 6 to 8 mil.
Yeah.
And a sell on fee. He's the only one. Going back to the question though, Murphy spent a lot of time injured. He's a good player, but he's aging now.
Yeah, you don't think he'll go, do you?
I don't think he'll go. And I don't think they'll sell Ibu unless they get something ridiculous from him.
They only bought him in for what, $500,000?
$500,000 in January.
So if someone comes in with 2.5 million, that's 2 million gain and 6 months.
Don't get me wrong. They'll take that. They would take that. Because let's be honest, the owners have come out multiple times.
So roughly about 12-13 million dismantles your team.
Yeah.
You listening, Saints? Get the checkbook out, dismantle their team.
The thing is, I think Devlin could walk into any championship team.
Yeah.
And Segatic, I don't think he can walk into every championship team, but he could get there.
Yeah.
Do we sell? Look, I think the owners have openly come out and said that they will look to invest in young players that will make them money. Will they want to rip up the book and take everyone out? No. I think we need to buy. I think we will sell. We'll get rid of a lot of the deadwood, but we won't sell all 4 of them.
Yeah.
I mean, the walk round after
you can't sell all 4.
No, they can't.
The pressure the owners bid
I mean,
they'll never be.
If they sell all 4 of them and it isn't even for top money, then I think there will be hell to pay with the Pompey fans. I mean,
and then lose the manager as well. I'm assuming if you sold all 4, the manager would go anyway.
Oh, 100%. Because let's be honest, he does not want to be at risk of relegation every year. He's got aspirations. He has. And look, he don't want to be at Pompey forever.
Yeah.
So he wants to put himself out.
See this thing about his house for sale?
Oh, yeah, but
he rents it, doesn't he?
That Terence, I heard it was rented, but he put a post up on one of the social medias, and then it got disappeared pretty quick. But I did see it was still on Instagram, and it was pictures of the room with his.
It's definitely his place.
Oh, it's definitely his place. Now, I'm surprised he hasn't bought though, because he's been here 2.5 years now. I'm surprised he hasn't bought. Yeah. There was the rumor of it. He's selling his house. He's off. No. Devlin and Mousinho will be the 2 that I think will go. Mousinho not so much. More so Devlin. If we keep all of them, we're on for a good season.
To be fair, we're in a similar boat. If we don't go up, we're gonna have to sell for a start. There's going to
be interest.
There's going to be a need to sell, and we do have a few players that are far too good for this season. So Taylor Harwood-Bellis, I think. He didn't have a great year in the Premier League with us previously, but he's grown. I think staying that extra year has done him well. I think it's what Tyler Diblin should have done.
There's been a lot of talk of him, though, isn't there?
Yeah, it's just, I mean...
It's not happened, has it?
David Moyes for it. It's wrong move for him. But anyway, he's history. But yeah, I think, Cienza probably will go. We won't keep probably Peretz. I'd imagine he'll be off somewhere else. Casper Yander, there's always these rumours about German clubs that want him. There's these rumours about Shea Charles going to Man United. I don't think that'd be a good move for him.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a good move. So we'll have a few issues as well. But
you've got money and you've got owners that do spend, haven't you?
They do spend. They've got a habit of spending badly. They've done all right in January, to be fair. They've brought in 2 players I had all doubts about, and they've turned the season around. Larin and Peretz.
Okay, yeah.
So hopefully they've learnt their lesson. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, because a couple of those players will do well in the Premier League. But yeah, similar thing. It's just parts with being a championship club. I mean, a lot of our fans, or a fair chunk of our fans, go, I'm not sure if I want us to go up. And that sort of brings us on to the other question, which was a reply from Wes.
Yep, Wes. Get
his name right. Yep. I'm not going to read it all out, Wes.
It's quite a long message, isn't it?
It's a long message. I think I've made a friend.
Well, you've definitely made a friend, yeah. Yeah.
But paraphrasing, do I remember how bad we were in the Premier League last time? If I were you, I'd want you to stay in the Championship, or you'd want to stay in the Championship, so that you don't get, let's just say, beat all the time.
Yeah, that's not quite the
word. And then a couple of paragraphs of abuse. And this is part of parcel of it, really, is that if we don't go up, we're going to lose all our players. And that's what you become, a championship team then. Yeah. You become a championship club, or worse, and you end up... I always use Stoke as the example, but Preston are an example as well. They've been mid-table championship team for decades, haven't they? Ipswich were down there for a long time. Yeah. And I mentioned it to you before, Leeds and Forest, the big clubs that stayed down for a long time. Yeah, so for the club... to progress and not lose your players, you need to go up. I think if we go up this time,
will it be different?
We'll be better prepared. Yeah, I think you look at the transfer window last time we went up, it was horrendous. Yeah. In hindsight, it was horrendous. I mean, some of those players can't get into our Championship team now,
No.
and we bought them for the Premier League, like
Yeah.
Ben Barrett and Diaz and
Yeah.
players like that. So, yeah, I think it would be a different story if we went up this time. But it's still a big if and a long way to go. But I would always prefer to go up, even if it means we're obviously going to lose more games. But eventually, you stay down in the Championship long enough, you're a mid-table to bottom-end champion.
Do you think that's what's going to happen to Saints then? Because you look at the teams that's coming down next year, most likely now West Ham to go in with Wolves and Burnley. And then obviously Cardiff coming up. Next year's Championship is going to be, I believe, stronger than this year.
Oh, by a long way.
A long, long way.
I don't think if we stay down this year, it's going to take a miracle for us to go up next year because, like you say, the 3 teams coming down
Even
are
with the
very
places,
strong.
Obviously.
Well, there's 8th place.
So Brixham are going to spend, aren't they? No doubt Birmingham will spend.
Exactly.
There's going to be team spending.
We'll still have a decent season, I think, but we're going to be a weaker team. So you're saying you're going to have stronger teams in the league and have a weaker team yourself. We're not going.
You could end up being the Birmingham, the Blackburns, the Ipswiches, and all that.
Potentially, yeah. So that's always my sort of reply to those people who say, "Do you really want to go up?" Yes, because if you don't go up, you end up just going down.
Hopefully, hopefully that satisfies Wes's needs into making sure that we point out that Saints have been dreadful for a good portion of the season, and he's made his point clear.
Still finished 4th though. It's a season. Season-long game. We finished 4th the year we went up as well.
Oh, okay.
So even though we were constantly sort of within that top 4 or 5, we finished in the same place. So
you can never see out in Championship, can you? You don't ever seem to come first.
We're barely ever in there. If we had 30 odd years of it like you did, we'd probably win one of them eventually. But anyway, yeah, those are 2 of the 3 questions we got in. If you've got any more questions, it's southcoastsocialpod@gmail.com or just send us a message on the various social media pages.
Obviously, we've got a lot coming up on the off season. We were going to do, like you said, those ones with the teams, the derbies. I think there's definitely
rumours of an ex-player we might be able to get on. No giveaways, but we might be able to get an ex-player on during the summer.
Is it a decent player?
Who's played in the derby. So
he's going to be
watch this space. I'm not making any promises, but he's sort of indicated that might be a yes. On to I say stat of the day. We've probably got a few. I'm going to take it back to the playoffs. You've got stat of the day as well, haven't you? I think.
Yes.
Have you not done your homework for this week?
No, you know me. I have done my homework, and I definitely. You start with your stat.
Okay, my stat of the day is back to the playoffs, and when we were talking about finishing higher and whether it's better or not. Over the last 12 seasons, I haven't gone back further than that. 6th have been promoted via the playoffs 0 times.
Okay.
5th have been promoted via the playoffs twice, which was Huddersfield and Villa.
Oh.
And Villa were in the informed team at the time. They were sort of, I think they were in like 9th or 10th, went on this run a bit similar to ours and ended up finishing 5th. They went up. 4th is the most successful in the last 12 years.
Of course it is,
6 times.
Right.
And 3rd is 4 times. Now, you look at that, of course, it makes sense because if you finish 3rd or 4th, you're probably a better team than the teams that finish 5th or 6th. So it is more likely. But I do think that element of playing second leg at home. There are some other stats, I haven't gone this deep into it, but there are some other stats about the points difference between the team that won and the team that was finished second and things like that. So there are other elements that go into it. I think back to the time we finished 6th and got into the playoffs, we didn't get through. I think Derby finished 3rd that year. Well, they must have, they finished 3rd and they went up that year and they were terrible. That was the worst ever Premier League team that ended up being. So
only just though, wasn't it? You only just
still.
I know it's still. Yeah, I know it's still, but only just. I thought that it could have been broken this year, but we've been proved wrong. Wolves were looking. They were looking.
They finished strong after they finished
top scorer. Yeah, well, he hasn't done anything. Going on to my stat. What was I can't remember what my stat was.
How am I supposed to know what your stat was?
I don't know.
I've got another one for you if you want.
Yeah, throw yours out there.
I was very disappointed with West. I was probably one of the few fans in the country that's disappointed with Sheffield Wednesday winning a game the other day.
Oh, that was one of the good stats, wasn't it? Yeah, because
they were on the longest run in EFL history, and the last time they won was where?
Second game of the season. I don't know.
Was it the second game of the season?
I think it was like the second or third game of the season. Let's have a quick look.
And where was that? Where was that?
It slips my mind. I don't know. Southampton?
No.
Was it at Fratton Park?
It was at Fratton Park. Yeah. So they went 39 games without a win. Between beating Pompey and then beating, who did they play at the weekend?
West Brom.
Beating West Brom. Two bottom feeder clubs that they've beat there. So good for them. They finished on 0 points and they're not getting a points deduction next season, which is good.
They announced it to their team, didn't they? Okay, so it was on the 20th of September. So it was a few games in, 4 games in, 5 games in. And we lost 2-0.
2-0? I thought, it's proper thrashing.
I mean, yeah, it was a proper thrashing.
So, I was really disappointed. I wanted that to go on for as long as possible for you to be the last.
Yeah, I mean, the roar when the halftime score went round at Fratton Park that Sheffield Wednesday were beating West Brom was incredible.
Yeah.
It was a good roar.
From the Pompey fans.
From the Pompey fans, yeah. It was just good. And then a final whistle to think that we were the only team up until that point.
Imagine if they went the whole season only beating one team and it was you. Yeah. Very disappointing. So,
I mean, yeah.
Sorry, Sheffield Wednesday fans. I'm not happy for you, but overall, I hope you come back up.
I'll find my stat and I'll bring it to the table next week, next episode. I've completely forgotten what it was. I did have a stat.
Absolute useless. But you've told me you do have one thing, and that's on to what we can agree on.
I've got 2 things we can agree on.
I've got one as well.
So we've got 3 things we can.
I've actually got.
This isn't good though, is it?
No, I don't like how much to agree.
This whole.
Mate, I've got a long commute every morning, and I think about these things.
Yeah.
And some stuff pops into my head, and I got one on the way back today, and I've had one since the beginning of the season, but it's such a terrible one that I'm just holding it when I'm desperate.
I just think of it as we agree, but I think what we're agreeing on most of the time, like the Wembley one, I think most football fans across the whole country agree on. With us. It's not
I put a video out of that on TikTok yesterday. And it's got like 15,500 likes or whatever straight away. So obviously everybody else agrees with it.
A lot of streams, isn't it? So
Right, imagine we had a good beer in our hand whilst that was...
I know, 15,500 views of one...
12 hours.
Yeah. So let's go my first one.
Go on,
you say your
no, just do one or do you need to do both? Because we don't want to burn through them because we're not going to get many. Okay, so I'll do the other. We'll do the other one at the final wrap of the end of the season. So I'll go with this. I think you can agree, and I think we both agree, and I think 99% of the football world agrees. Thank God Wrexham never went up. Honestly, this whole. Do you know what I mean? When have you ever watched? When have Sky done a game when they are doing Southampton versus Wrexham? I think it was you. First game of the season?
No, it might not have been you. There was Sky showed the game. It might have been you, but it might not have been you.
We did play on Sky.
Yeah, recently. It was Wrexham versus someone, and on the next football channel, so that was Sky Sports main event, on Sky Sports Football, they had the 2 blimmin' Americans and 2 commentators.
This is what...
Doing a preview, doing a talk through of the match.
I said this the other day.
So American.
There's a lot of... so don't get me wrong, like they're investing in English football, blah blah. Football, yeah, they're technically doing it the right way in terms of getting sponsorship. It's not like state-run things.
But they are buying the league.
So they are buying the leagues, and there's an element of jealousy, and I get that.
Yeah.
I think
they are insufferable.
They lost. Yeah, they are insufferable. They lost a lot of goodwill because I think it's constantly because it's rammed down your throat constantly by Sky.
Yep.
Fairy tale when it's not. Yeah. And then I think they lost so much goodwill with that commentary of...
What was all that about? It was either you or another team.
It wasn't us.
It wasn't. It was just before
I think they played Birmingham or something like that. But
and come on. I mean, it's such an American thing to do where you've got the owners of the team are in the commentary box and you've got one half of the screen is showing the football, one half of the screen is pointed on them 4.
I think they lost everyone. If you weren't already... annoyed about everything that gets rammed down your throat about it, everybody else just went, nah, not having that. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed they didn't get into the playoffs because I wanted to play them, but
I'm glad they got no.
Yeah, I don't want them to go. I've also got a bet on with my brother that 2 years ago I said Wrexham won't play in the Premier League in the next 10 years, and he said they would, and we put £100 bet on for a 10-year £100 bet, and he's going to win it in like 3.
I see. I don't know. I mean,
they could fall away a little bit now. Like they might have lost a bit of momentum, or they might double down. But I think a lot of people agree on that. Do you know the other thing is people who don't like football then talk to you about Wrexham and you don't care. It happened to me at work today, but he went, how'd your football team get on at the weekend? I was like, yeah, we won. We're into the playoffs. At Wrexham? I was like, no, they've just missed out. Oh, that's a shame.
We went to New York last year for a wedding, didn't we? And I was sat in a bar in Times Square, and the everything was Wrexham.
Yeah.
You had Americans talking about Wrexham, and they just think they might as well be the United of the footballing world now.
Yeah.
Everyone's
United States of Wrexham.
honestly. So yeah, I'm glad that they.
So
did
yeah,
do it.
I think a lot more people will agree on that since that commentary game.
Yeah.
Where Rob and Ryan were on comments. That was ridiculous.
Yeah. So I think that was. I finally brought something to the table.
Well done.
Thank you.
Well done. I thought of another one literally about 10 seconds ago, and I've completely lost it now. But
What was your other one?
well, actually, right. The other one is on the theme of the playoffs. I don't think many people will agree with me on that. I think it'll be split, and I'm not even sure if you'll agree with me because it probably benefits Portsmouth. I think it's ridiculous that next season 8 teams are getting into the playoffs. I don't get the point in it.
You're right. It benefits.
Why don't we just do 10, 12, 14?
Yeah.
Like, where does it stop? Like, I get that they're like, oh yeah, we want the playoffs or we want the league to have interest for longer into the season. But well, that's the point in having a league. I just don't see, and I get that they'll have to play an extra game, so the advantage is still with the top 6. But do you know what? It seems like a way to get Wrexham into the Premier League.
It does. You know what? I agree with you. I can't, for the life of me, think why we need 8 teams in a playoff. All right,
Do you know, it's one of the shitifications of football. There's a lot of them, VAR, a few of the other things we spoke about, Wembley, semi-finals and stuff. And this is just another one. They've got something that works, and they've gone, how can we make more money out of that and make it worse?
Well, let's do a poll on. We'll clip this. We'll do a poll and see what other people think. I personally think that 8, like you said, helps the teams like Wrexham, Birmingham, Preston, Swansea.
Yeah.
If
Just more football. It's like they keep extending the teams in the World Cup, extending the teams in the Euros. It just makes football worse. It's constantly making football worse.
National League, you've got the first place team definitely goes up, and then the next 6 teams battle it out for one last place.
Yeah.
And they've done this now to the Championship, not League One, not League Two, just
but
the
they
Championship.
will do it to League
One.
One.
They will.
Too.
But we're still only fighting for 3 places to get the Premier League.
Yes.
So why? Yeah, I agree with you. And I think
I'm sure a lot of people felt the same about when they changed from the top 3 going up to the playoffs. But you can't deny that the playoffs has added something. But you don't need to extend the playoffs because that's what the league is. Like, it just makes it, to me, it makes no sense. Maybe I'll be proved wrong. Maybe it's one of those things in 5 years' time, we'll look back and go, that's all right, that's genius.
Well, it will be interesting to see if the team that finishes 8th gets into the playoffs.
It probably, looking at these stats over the last 12 years, it's not going to happen often, but it will happen.
It's going to benefit.
It will happen. There'll be someone that comes through, they'll have a really good run, find themselves, go from 14th to 8th.
Yeah, it'll be a derby, or it'll be a Wrexham.
Yeah, and then someone will go up and finish with less than 9 points. And then, and why did the Premier League want this? Do they want technically lesser teams? A team that finishes 8th could be in their division.
Maybe they want Derby to go up and try and beat their own record.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, there's no way that I can't see it working, and well, let's see. It's not going to be great, is it?
No. So
I think we can agree.
A couple of things we can agree on, but we'll put a vote out for that because I'm not sure how many people will agree with me, but I still think it'll be a majority, but not as clear as the other ones that we've done. Good. I think that about wraps it up, unless you've got anything else that you want to talk about.
No.
Any other business? No. Okay, well, we'll leave it there. What we'll do, we'll get through the next 2 games of the playoffs. You can follow along and text me as much as you like during those games.
I've got a bottle on ice at home for me to bring in and pop when we get through, and you're still in the same league as us next season.
Yeah. So
that'll be coming out in a couple of weeks' time, hopefully. So we'll enjoy that.
You're convinced we're not going up?
You're not going up.
No?
You're not going up. You could clip this, you could put it out there, and no doubt, I'll obviously will take a lot of shit and heat if you do go up, but you're not going up. There's no way. Millwall. I just want Millwall up. Boro are going to beat you on penalties.
All right. We'll leave it there.
Yeah, perfect.
Thanks for coming round.
No problem.
And
Thanks for having us.
See you in a week.
See you later.
Cheers.